channel. Today on HillBilly Voodoo, we're going to show you how we made this bulletproof hoodie. Well, it's not quite bulletproof, but it's an armored hoodie. Stick around and see what type of HillBilly Voodoo we had to do to create this thing. Oh yeah, I'm fierce and I can work it. Now I know that there's at least a few of you out there that are wearing shirts that look like mine with the hole here from the grinding and the welding. And I know that there's been a few of you out there that have had a hoodie like this and you've been like, ah, I'm on fire kind of thing. Well, today I'm going to show you how I build an armored hoodie, and also one that will cover your ass crack so your buddies are not constantly trying to throw things down it when you're bent over. Let's go inside the sewing room here and we'll show you how we create an armored hoodie. Now those of you that work in t-shirts or work in hoodies out in the shop know that it's always the same spot that gets all chewed up. In this super handy pocket that gets filled up with sawdust or metal shavings or all that stuff, it ends up getting melted from the grinding sparks or the welding sparks. Gets all tattered up and crappy. The rest of the hoodie got a lot of serviceable life left in it, except there's a big friggin' hole right in the center of it. Now, in order to maintain the integrity of our hoodie, we're going to need to put something in this area that is more, let's say, robust than just the cotton material or polyester or whatever this is made out of. Now, this hoodie can be recovered. It's not totally done. It does have a big, huge hole right through the front of it. But we're going to work on a new hoodie today because this is actually going to be for a friend of mine. So let's grab our new hoodie and lay it out here. Now we got our brand new hoodie laid out here. Now here's our secret weapon in this whole mission here, is upholstery vinyl. Now you're saying it's a material, it's still going to melt. Well, in reality, upholstery vinyls now have to meet a burn through rate, and they're kind of more or less, if you get grease and oil and stuff on them, you just wipe it off, and they're a lot thicker than your cotton material. They will burn through eventually. They will wear out. This is not going to make you guys bulletproof or anything like that, but it does definitely make your hoodies last a long time. And usually the rest of the hoodie will disintegrate before this piece of upholstery vinyl goes. Now, where can you get this stuff? Well, pretty much Walmart's got it. The better the grade you buy, the longer it's going to last. If you go to the auto wreckers, if they're dismantling old school buses, you got a whole crap ton of seats in there. Cut the back out of a seat. Most of the time, the auto wreckers will just give you this stuff because they don't really want to deal with it. They don't get any money or anything for it. So, yeah. Spark resistant. Metal shavings don't usually stick to it or dig into it. Now, what are we going to do with this stuff? Well, we're going to take this piece of vinyl. This happens to be a leftover chunk from doing a motorcycle seat. And we're going to take this piece of vinyl and we are going to sew it in generally the area that gets all sparked up and loses its integrity. Could we cut that pocket out of there? Well, we could, but that's going to give us a little bit more padding for when our zip cut discs break and go flying off and try to stab us in the guts, or for when you're working out in the bush doing your lumberjack thing and you roll over a log and you're leaning on it trying to stuff a choker underneath and a stick pokes you right in the friggin' belly button, because you know that happens all the time, like guaranteed. It'll give us a little bit more padding. See, these hoodies and t-shirts, if you want to do them, they're not really just for working out in the shop. They give you a protection for that big, huge swinging mass that you have hanging off of you from eating too many hot dogs and drinking too much beer. So, we're going to cut this out. This is actually pretty good size here already. And we're going to pin this to our hoodie where we want to sew it onto. Now I'm sure there's some of you misogynistic pricks out there that are saying sewing's a woman's job. Well, screw you. Sewing's in everybody's job. Besides, when do you get to work a machine and figure out how a machine like that works with all the buttons and all things and makes cool noises, and you got a throttle pedal? Like, seriously, guys, you're missing out. If you're not sewing, you can make stuff and you get to play. Yeah, you get to play like you're racing. It's cool. So anyways, I'm going to pin this piece of material to my hoodie, laid out as smooth and as flat as I possibly can. Because my sewing room is so small here, I won't really be able to show you the actual pinning, but I'll bring you back once I get it all stuck down here. Now we got our piece of vinyl pinned down here, just temporarily to hold it in place. Slide your hand inside, put your pins through, so you're only pinning through the front part. Now, how high and how wide you make your little armor panel here depends really on you. Look at your shirt. Look at where your sparks pattern are. If you got big boobs, if you're a woman, or you're just a dude with big boobs, chances are you're going to have sparks up here where the sparks land and melt through. If you're like me, whose belly sticks way out, chances are the sparks are going to be right here, where the hole is, right? So put your panel more or less where the hole is, maybe a couple inches above, and just kind of tack it down with your pins to hold it into place. Now remember, guys, you're making a hoodie here. This is not like brain surgery. It's clothing. Now, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to go out in the shop and you're going to grind and you're going to hit weld. You're going to more or less try to destroy this. So if it doesn't come out straight your first time, or it looks like crap, well, if anybody comments on it, just punch them in the throat. So we got this all tacked down here. Now we're going to start by stitching just a single stitch all the way around the outside here. Try to get the hoodie stretched out because you have elastic along the bottom here, and try to get it stretched out as far as you can, and it won't bunch up quite as bad, but you kind of know what I'm talking about here. Just follow the line. It's like anything else. You're welding more or less with material. You're sticking one piece of material to another. That's what welding is, except you're using a sewing machine. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show too much of the sewing part here. We'll see if I can set up a camera where you guys can actually see. And yeah, let's get her done. Now this thing right here, my friends, is the hardest part of this whole job, figuring out this machine. I've worked on European cars that are easier to figure out than all the buttons and the doodads and whatever. Yeah, but more or less, stretch out your material and follow the line. It's not, like I say, it ain't brain surgery here. Now I like to make a single straight stitch first and then go back over it. I am using thread that is a different color than the material that I'm using, just because that's what I happen to have in the sewing machine, and I didn't really want to change the bobbin, and I think it kind of looks cool seeing the stitching. Now this is just a normal needle in here, normal thread. I do have an upholstery machine over here that I use for leather and a lot thicker materials, blankets, things like that. But I've found that sewing through this vinyl, I've never really had much of an issue, so. Now when you get to a pin, pull the pin out before it goes through the machine. You more often break your needle by running over a pin than you will anything else. Just trying to keep your hoodie stretched out, because remember, the hoodie stretches and the vinyl really doesn't. So check once in a while to make sure that you're only sewing to the one side of the hoodie and not the back side of the hoodie. Otherwise, you're going to have to take this thing all apart again and redo it. Now, if for some reason you think that you're super awesome and you can go full throttle, give her. There will be blood, especially when you run over your finger. Yeah. So don't get too ambitious until you figure out what the hell you're doing. I've been doing it for a long time. I still haven't figured out what the hell I'm doing, but yeah, that's kind of it. Now, if you're doing this and you're borrowing somebody else's machine, first off, ask, because chances are they'll kill you in your sleep. And chances are they have a machine set up exactly the way they want it. And you better learn how they're using it and not how you want to use it. But I don't have to worry about this because this is my machine. Now when you get to the corner, make sure your needle is still in the material, poked all the way through, and then we just turn it. You can lift up on your little foot thing, give it a bit of a spin, 90 degrees. Make sure again that you're not sewing through more than one piece of material. Drop your foot again. Just try to straighten everything out. And keep on trucking. Okay, now that we have this piece sewn on here, it's stitched on with a single stitch. Can you see that? Yeah. So we got a flappy edge hanging here. Now, you could totally rock it the way it is, but I don't really like this flappy, unfinished type of edge here. So I'll show you what we're going to do about that. On your sewing machine, you got all these weird type of little settings here, and that's the pattern that I like. Now I kind of run the edge of the vinyl down the middle so that it sews on either side of that edge of the vinyl. This is kind of the way that the pattern looks when you sew it. That one right there is a single stitch, and that one is this kind of weird little, don't ask me what these stitches are called, but if you sew with the center, with the edge of the vinyl right in the center of there, then it kind of holds it down on either side, keeps it from flapping around and curling up and that kind of thing. Gives it a little bit more finished edge and gives it more of a bite to the material. So our finished result will end up looking like this single stitch on the vinyl, and then our, whatever this stitch is called, on the edge of the vinyl. So let's do that around the perimeter of that piece of vinyl, and I'll show you what that ends up looking. remember to check every once in a while and that you're not sewing through and sewing the back to the front. Yes, it does happen. So can you guys see what we're doing here? We're following right along the seam of our, or along the edge of our vinyl, and we're stitching, and that is what it's coming out like. That stitches on either side, holds the edge of that vinyl down. Now are we gonna stop at one pass around here? Well, we could, but I kind of want to do 2 passes around just because I'm kind of anal like that and want to keep it all nailed down. Now I'm sure that there's some people out there that are saying, yeah, your seams aren't very good and they're not tight and blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't care. I'm building a armored hoodie here, guys. I'm not building you a bespoke tux or anything like that. So keep nailing this thing down here. Let's see how far we get with it today. Well, now that we got the edge there all sewn down all the way around our armored panel, we're going to go on to the part where we cover our ass. Not only cover our ass by saying, this is not bulletproof, you idiots. Don't even think it is. If you get shot, it's not going to stop a bullet. No, it's just armor to stop the sparks. Now, the other part of covering your ass is this piece hanging off the bottom of this hoodie. You bend over, you're crouched down, your ass crack is hanging out. You get sunburn on your ass crack. People are trying to throw things down it and laughing behind your back. This kind of looks like just a piece hanging out of the bottom of your shirt, like your t-shirt's longer. Now those of you that are shorter and don't have long torsos or have big bellies probably don't have to worry about it too much because your hoodie will cover your ass. But those of us that are built like real people, our asses quite often hang out of our clothes. And some people get offended by that. Not that I care about that part, but I don't like getting water dripping down the crack of my butt. And I don't like getting sunburn on it. So this little panel here is a chunk of an old t-shirt that had a stain right in the center of it. Wasn't good enough for going out, but it's good enough for what we're going to do with it. And I'll show you what we're going to do with it here. Now this here is a t-shirt that it's got a few little spark holes up here. It's obviously been worn out in the shop a couple times. But it's one of those shirts that you buy and it fits you super awesome in the store and covers all your goodies. And you take it home and you wash it once and then it's like one of those teenage belly button top things that the girls wear or the guys wear or whoever wears that wants to have their belly button hanging out. Well, it ends up like that on you. So it's not really good for much else other than shop rags or showing off your belly. So we're going to take about that much, I don't know, almost a foot, I think, it really depends on how long you are, how much of your butt you want to cover, how big your butt is, whatever's working for you. But I know that about that much is pretty good on me, so should work for pretty much anybody else. Take your ruler. Mine happens to be a framing square. Why I have a framing square in my sewing room? Don't ask stupid questions. I just do. We're gonna chop this off. If I knew where the hell my good scissors went, I would use those. But I don't. No, I'm gonna go find my good scissors. Just hold on a minute. Well, I couldn't find my good scissors, but I found some more gooder scissors. So I'll cut it along our framing square here. Oh, those scissors suck too. Oh well. So we could chew through it with our teeth if we really had to. We got that fairly straight cut there. Now we're going to take this and we're going to pin it to the inside of this armored hoodie that we made. Why are we going to pin it? Because it holds everything in place. Gives you a chance to straighten things out. We're going to try to put the seams that are here where the seams that are here. Just kind of make it sort of kind of look like it's a real thing and not something that somebody hacked together. Most people are never ever going to notice. They're just going to see, like I said, it looks like your t-shirt sticking out of the bottom of your sweater. So let's pin this in here and start sewing it in. Well, there you go, guys. We got that butt protector in there sewed on. Got ourselves an armored hoodie. Now if you don't count the cost of the hoodie, that piece of vinyl there is probably about $5. And it will substantially increase the life of your hoodies. And that little piece of material that covers your butt, well, that didn't really cost us anything because it was on a t-shirt that, yeah, was no good for anything other than a shop rag. And you can always make yourself some voodoo dolls once you get good at sewing. Got a ninja and a bear. You ever seen a ninja and a bear fight? No, probably not. You can't see ninjas. Bears are in the dark. Anyways, we have a few more hoodies here that, well, once we chop the pockets out of them and put another armored panel in, they'll be fine. That Carhartt hoodie there is over $80, and I think we should be able to get at least another few months out of it once I get rid of the burnt up pocket here. Yeah, another project for you guys. So till next time, guys, use what you got to make what you want. Remember to like and subscribe. Maybe share this video with people that you think might need an armored hoodie. Till next time, I'll see you guys.